Yo, what's up guys? Yeah, PokeaimMD here with my final battle of SPL Week 9 regular season. After this, we're going to be going into playoffs. I believe the Wolfpack are 100% in playoffs, so there'll only be 2 games left assuming, we do well. But this time I'm playing ORAS NU versus Canadian. This is my first time playing ORAS NU in SPL this season, and I actually built my team myself, so I'm pretty proud of it. Not really the best thought process going into it. It was like, oh my god, this mon looks cool. I want to put this on my team. But I looked at a few of his replays, and he loves Pokemon like Shiftry, he loves Scyther, he loves Mesprit, he has a real big love for Charizard as well as Sceptile. So I was like, wow, I want to use Barbarical versus him. It actually has a pretty good matchup. Now, originally I was thinking Shell Smash, and then I thought to myself, why not Choice Scarf? Choice Scarf can outspeed everything that I mentioned if I'm running Jolly Nature, and I can still run Shell Smash on it anyway, just in case he knocks me off. Though I did change it last minute to Switcheroo because my team said so. But in any case, we have an offensive sort of variant of Steelix. We have Choice Scarf Barbarical. We have Charcoal Charizard with a few little cool tricks like Ancient Power for his Charizard love. Special Skuntank, though I changed it from running Fire Blast to Taunt, just in case he wanted to bring Combine Baton Pass Cobra Berry Musharna or something like that. And Special Lantern, like Special Wall Lantern, and then Standard Sceptile. But I figured my best lead would be Skuntank, because if he leads off a Garbodor, I can beat that thing 1v1 in Defog. I can beat Drifblim. I said Drifblim, excuse me, I'm like mixing up its Little Cup name. Drifloon with Drifblim. I can beat Mesprit, as well as I can, bait the Fire Blast versus Steelix. A lot of them tend to run Sugar Berry. I'm talking about Skuntank, so maybe he would fear the Fire Blast because it could be a 2-hit KO. So I decided to lead off with my Skuntank as he leads off with his Garbodor. Like I said, pretty good matchup for me. He can't really do too much. I'm just going to fire off a Dark Pulse. Only does about 33%, as he's going to get up a Spike. I don't really care too much about this. I'm just going to click Defog in the following turn. I'm not trying to play any hazards at all this game, as except Rocks, which is something I probably can't prevent. But I'm going to get off that Defog as he goes for Gunk Shot, and now he's going to switch out into his Sliggoo on my Taunt. So I revealed Taunt right here, so he probably knows he saw 3 of my moves: Defog, Dark Pulse, and Taunt. But at this point, I'm thinking, okay, if this is Curse Sliggoo, then my Steelix pretty much walls. I can play around it, I can stall it out of Outrages and Curses. If it's Special, I want to switch out into Lantern. Lantern's not really doing too much this game besides checking Drifbloom, which I can check with the combination of Barbarical. Even Steelix, even Charizard won't go down to a hit at full HP. So I decided to go out to Lantern just in case he wanted to drop a Draco right here, or go for a Fire move predicting my Steelix, as he actually double switches right back out into his Garbodor, which I don't mind too much, because now what I can do is just go right for Volt Switch. I get off a bit of chip damage right there, and I can go right back out into my Skuntank and, rinse, repeat the process. I'm not going to allow this guy to get up spikes versus me. I don't want him to have up hazards, so I'm going to go right for Defog as he decides to fire off a Gunk Shot now. I kind of figured he might be Custap Berry at this point, because he's just letting me weaken him, but at the same time, he's been known to run the Rocky Helmet variant, so I go for Dark Pulse right here, and again I was debating going for Defog, just trying to be a bit flashy right now, but I just go for another Dark Pulse. Turns out he's not Custap Berry. I mean, he was a really bulky variant anyway, but I was thinking that could be an option, but able to knock him out with that Dark Pulse. Sceptile is going to come out. Now, Sceptile is a really big threat in the NU tier. It honestly is. I'm going to allow my Skuntank to go down, which makes sense why he was going for those Gunk Shots. He wanted my Skuntank, which was one of the few Pokemon on my team that could take on Sceptile to be weakened or go down. So I do have Scarf Barbarical, I do outspeed Sceptile, and the min damage I do with X Scissor is 98%, around there. No, it's not 98%. I'm jolly. But he's pretty much in range of, it might be 98%, I don't remember. No, it is 98%. Yeah, I'm correct. It's 98%. I was thinking about the Mega Sceptile count. But I don't want to go directly into Barbarical, because I don't want to show that I'm Scarf just yet. I feel like it's smarter for me to go out to Sceptile, especially because he does have Drifblim, excuse me, and Sliggoo, which pretty much hard walls with Sap Sipper. So I go out to my Sceptile, and I'm willing to risk a few speed ties right here just to weaken him. He wins the first one, which doesn't necessarily matter, though I do get a crit. It did matter in a sense that I knocked him out, but it would have came down to the second speed tie anyway, so I'll take that, I guess, as he goes out into his Sliggoo. I go right for the Hidden Power Ice, and I find out right here that he is the Cursed Set, so I obviously don't want to stay in. He could rest up on me and pretty much sweep me in this scenario if I let him curse up enough. So I go out to my Steelix. I can hit him with the heavy slam. It's going to do a decent amount considering he does have that +1 defense boost. Does about 30% with the heavy slam in the following turns, you guys will see. He gets the outrage right there as I'm getting my rocks. I want the rocks just to pressure that Drifblim as well as the Mesprit. He gets the outrage right here. As you see, it doesn't do too much. A bit higher than it was before as I'm able to hit him with heavy slam. Now, because it's so early in the game, he actually doesn't want to curse up and try and win with Sliggoo, which actually has a pretty decent chance. I mean, Steelix would be able to wall it, maybe take it on, depending on sleep talk rolls. Also, the fact that after he curses enough, he will be slower than me. If I get one crit, it's pretty much over for that Sliggoo. Especially because he will be slower than me. So he actually decides to switch out to a Steelix, which I can understand. He probably wants to weaken Steelix first before he tries to sweep me with Sliggoo. So goes out to his Steelix as I actually show the Toxic, expecting him to wake up and curse. I wanted to force a rest or even try to catch anything that wanted to come in besides Steelix, but brings out Steelix. I'm going to bring out my Charizard right now as he is going to get up his Stealth Rock. I wanted to bring it in before Rocks. A lot of Steelix don't really run Rock moves. They run Toxic or Roar as their last move, Heavy Slam and Earthquake, and then Stealth Rock. So fire off a Charcoal boosted Flamethrower. It does absolutely nothing as I am going to go right back out into my Steelix. He is going to wake up this turn and he is going to go for the Curse, which is a good play because then he can rest up on me right now. And I'm going to go right for that Heavy Slam. It's going to do, again, 30% at this point. So depending on rolls, depending on bad sleep talks, I could potentially beat him. Depending, again, it depends on that crit. But he decides to switch out to Steelix. I actually expected him to switch out to Steelix once again because he wants to weaken my Steelix in order for that Sliggoo to sweep. So I went for Earthquake right now just to catch it. I do have a significant amount of attack investment, so my Earthquake is actually going to do a lot more to him. About 10%, maybe 11% more than his does to me. But I weaken Steelix because what I'm trying to do is go for the Scarf Barbarical sweep. Because looking at his team, if Steelix is gone, I can just click Stone Edge or I can just click X Scissor with my Scarf Barbarical and pretty much sweep him. Stone Edge is more likely at this point because his Drifblim is still alive, and Stone Edge also gets rid of Sliggoo. Does about close to 50%. To it, so it's an easy 2-hit KO, and Sliggoo needs like to be +3 in order to OHKO me with Outrage if I'm not mistaken. So I go for that Earthquake right there as I'm able to weaken him. I'm actually going to swap out into my Charizard, my Sceptile, excuse me, at this point. Charizard would have been a poor play if he went for Heavy Slam because I wanted to be able to switch into Rocks. So I sack my Sceptile because it's pretty much done its job at this point. I don't really want to save it because it'll give the Drifblim the free Acro. And again, it gives Sliggoo an opportunity to come in, though I guess if I fire it off an HP Ice, I would have been in an okay position. But I bring out Charizard now. I'm just going to go right for Flamethrower. He decides to sack his Steelix, so that's great because that's one step closer to my Barbarical sweep as he's going to go out to Sliggoo. Now, because he has not burnt any rest turns, and if Sleep Talk is actually bad for him right now, Steelix can still 1v1 him. I actually decide to go for a double Flamethrower, predicting him to want to double out into his Drifblim. Because I was thinking at this point he was the Will-O-Wisp Acro set, so I figured if I can catch that, I will basically burn its Citrus Berry and stop him from going for subs versus me and burning my Steelix. So I go for a double Flamethrower as he does bring out that Drifblim like I did expect, or even a double it out to anything right there. Even Mesprit would have been great. Hit it with a Charcoal boosted Flamethrower. It does 62%, nice amount of damage. I'm going to go directly into my Lantern because with the Citrus Berry being activated, his Unburden is also activated, so he does outspeed my Charizard. I can save my Charizard just to do some Blaze boosted damage versus Mesprit as I can come in at 1 HP. So bring out Lantern on the Acrobatics. It's 24% as I go for the yellow color right here. Try to leave him a little present, you know, Thunder Wave as he goes for sub. Not too worried though because Lantern can take 2 Acrobatics still, or 3 even. Depending on rolls, even actually 4 depending on rolls. So I go right for the Scald right here, as that will be able to break his sub. And now what I decide to do is actually go for Thunder Wave because he can't sub anymore. And what I wanted to do was just slow him down just in case he had the Destiny Bond as well. I didn't want to have to sack my Lantern. So I went for Thunder Wave, and what I can do right now is just fire off an Ice Beam, switch it up to Ice Beam just in case he wants to switch out to Sliggoo because he hasn't rested yet, so I think I could 3-hit KO him after Stealth Rock if I'm not mistaken. So now he's going to bring on Mesprit. I'm not sure what type of Mesprit he is. I don't know if he's Subcom Mine. I don't know if he's Mind Play or anything. But regardless, my best play is going for Thunder Wave to slow him down. Because if he's like Scarf Mesprit, obviously that's an issue. I don't want my Steelix to be worn down. I don't think he'd be Scarf Mesprit on this team. But I decided to go for the Thunder Wave as he goes for sub. And it turns out he's actually a bulky Subcom mindset, which isn't too problematic at this point. Because I know that even if Lantern cannot break his sub with the combination of Scald into Volt Switch, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and break his sub with Scald damage into Volt Switch, as it obviously does not work out for me because this Volt Switch does not break his sub on the second combine. However, I do have Blaze boosted, Charcoal boosted Charizard, and at this point I can go right into it. I am faster, I can go right for Flamethrower, and I can break his sub. And the thing is, even if he decided to sub again right now, Charcoal boosted, Blaze boosted, Flamethrower always breaks his sub, and even if he got to +3, I also break his sub. It does 25% min, so it always breaks the sub of Mesprit. So he would have been wasting HP if he tried to go for the he would have been wasting HP if he tried to go for the sub again, and then the sub again after that, or even a Combine or something, because I still would have been able to break it. But now I can go out Steelix. I'm pretty confident that he's not HP ground, because from his replays, he loves running Signal Beam on his bulky Psychics, whether it be a Cobra Berry, Musharna, or even Mesprit. So I was pretty confident he wasn't like HP ground, though Steelix could tank 1 HP ground and put him in range of X-Scissor, which was the plan. So goes for Signal Beam, gets a crit, doesn't really matter too much, and if anything, I want my Steelix to go down before Barbarical comes out, because what I'm trying to do right now is just weaken him with the Heavy Slam to the point where my Barbarical can just come in and click X-Scissor to finish off this Mesprit. So he's able to knock me out with the next Signal Beam. However, he's out of range for sub, and my Barbarical is Choice Scarf, so I do indeed outspeed his Mesprit. Actually, at this point, if I was Shell Smash, I also could have Shell Smashed up, because he's Psyshock over Psychic, so that's something to note. But I go right for the Scarf X-Scissor, and it's my best play because it does 2-hit KO Sliggoo, and Sliggoo has not burnt any sleep turns yet. So even if, let's say he got a curse right here, okay, so you see how my X-Scissor does 26%. Even if he got a curse right now, he would need like a crit outrage after that in the Sleep Talk in order to beat me 1v1, and I think even X-Scissor has a chance to knock him out even at -1. So he Sleep Talks a rest right here. Again, it didn't really matter at this point because I would have been able to 2-hit KO him after that anyway, and that is going to be a good game. So Scarf Barbarical really coming through in this game, and I believe I ended off the regular season of SPL 6-3 right now. So we're going to be going into playoffs next week. Hopefully the Wi-Fi Wolfpack can do well and, you know, bring out another win, because this week is more of a week that doesn't necessarily matter for us. We're already guaranteed for playoffs, but obviously I still wanted to win my game, and it was fun playing NU and, you know, building my team and things like that and using Pokemon that I wanted to use. But hope you guys all enjoyed. Later on, 5:30 p.m. there will be part 1 of my Twilight Princess playthrough with CVV that I was doing on stream. So I hope you guys look forward to that. You know, feel free to support that. But yeah, in any case, leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Cue the outro.